Well, welcome to this next video on the nowRail model railway control system, and today we're going to be looking at sending commands from a DCC controller into nowRail. Now, in the last couple of videos I've looked at how to send commands from nowRail to the NCE cab bus and to DCC-EX, but today we're going to be looking at how you can send a command to nowRail from any DCC system. Now, going straight over to the workbench, you can see that I've got three ESP32s on the workbench and my trusty NCE power cab. Now, what we're going to be doing today is sending commands from the power cab to control this ESP32 here. Now, this was a ESP32 that I set up as a decoder on the layout. So what we were doing was, if I press this button over here, you can see that the mimic panel LED came on and this LED flashed because this was representing a solenoid. Let's just press in the opposite direction, and as you can see, the green LED comes on and this solenoid flashed on and off. We then had a building accessory decoder type button. So this is just turning lights on or off. And then finally, there was the tortoise style decoder, where, as you can see, as I press the LED this time, instead of just pulsing for half a second, which a solenoid would require, these ones are coming on permanently, just like a tortoise would require. Now, what I'm now going to do is, I know that this accessory here is address 100. So I'm going to select address 100, and now, as you can see, selecting that accessory on my power cab still makes it work. Also, the mimic panel updates as well. Now, all of this is done through this little circuit here and this ESP32 over here. So let's have a look at how it's done. So, as always, all the information is on the nowRail page on the Digital Town website. So let's go over to that screen. And once there, just one thing to be aware of, there is the video on the getting started and using standard pin functions. Now, just going back to the webcam, that was the video that I showed how to create the control panel and the decoder within the nowRail system. So I'm not going to cover all the details of that again. You can just watch that video, and the whole point is all of these videos sort of try and work into one complete system. So going back to the Digital Town site, scroll down a little bit further and eventually you will get to this link, which is the DCC controller input. So clicking on that, the first thing you're going to do is find this circuit. Obviously there's the video and some information. There is also a link to a separate video that I did just on using this circuit with the ESP32. So if you wanted to build your own custom ESP32 powered DCC accessory controllers, this video shows you how to do it. But it's also a useful video in that it allows you to test the circuit and basically get a little bit more understanding how it works. Now, the circuit is very easy to create. Basically, you have three resistors, a diode, a Zener diode, and this little optocoupler. Now, this is a very important component. So your DCC track voltage is an alternating square wave. We're not going to go into all the details on that, but it's going to be usually 12 to 15 volts. Now, not meant to be funny, 12 to 15 volts to an ESP32 is just going to result in a whole load of smoke. You're going to blow the thing up. So this circuit here takes the input voltage, puts it in through the optocoupler, and the optocoupler has a way of separating this voltage from the voltages that the ESP32 receives. So all you're getting out of here is a signal on this blue wire here that is a 3.3 volt signal. So So the ESP32 can now read the commands coming in over DCC without blowing itself up. So that's the circuit you're going to need. The parts are all listed over here. Just a quick look on eBay just now before I did the video to work out the prices. I'll be honest with you, the postage is going to cost you more than the components. 10k resistors, you've probably got some knocking around, even the 1k resistor. I even had the Zener diode within my system. I've got loads of them. But if you had to order the optocoupler and the Zener diode, it's probably going to cost you £3. I think the postage was £1.50 and the part was £1, something like that. I buy them off AliExpress in bulk. Now, one thing to be aware of with this circuit, you only need one for the entire layout. So if you are building DCC decoders using an ESP32, you're going to need one of these circuits for each decoder. For nowRail, it just requires one of these circuits, and then the command will be transmitted over the ESP-NOW system via nowRail to update and send commands to any controllers on your layout. Now, going back to the webcam, you can see that I've cheated a bit. I've already soldered one of these onto a piece of Veriboard. So we've got the two 10k resistors, we've got a 1k resistor. Zener diode is that sort of orange and black thing, and here we have the optocoupler. I've then got the inputs from DCC just over here. You can see the yellow wires actually come from my NC cab bus, and the white wires obviously are going into the decoder. These two yellow wires would usually come from your track power if obviously you've got a full layout running. But that's the circuit, and then obviously I've just got this grey wire, which is the blue wire in the circuit diagram, and that in this case is going to pin 4. So let's go back over to the Arduino IDE and let's look at how to build this. So the system that I've got on the breadboard, I've set it up with this layout code. So that's my example layout code, and I showed you in that getting started video basically the importance of putting in your unique layout code. That's all you need to do. Go over to then the next tab is nowRail user setup H. Going over to this screen, there will be certain features here that you will have turned on or off. Again, that was covered in the getting started. By default, these are turned on, and they're just being left on for this example because that's the way I've got the system set up. Now, one oddity that I am using this board as the master clock. Again, if you watch the getting started video, it'll explain about the master clock. Usually I use DCC-EX as the board with my master clock, but that's not running on this at the moment. It could be. I could be sending commands to DCC-EX and receiving commands via this today's lesson from DCC-EX. Yeah, you can go in all sorts of circles. So once we've got these basic header items sorted out, all you need to do is scroll down until you come to other DCC systems. And this is the way that you now receive your accessory commands from your DCC command station. Only two variables that you uncomment. The first one is the DCC decoder pin. Now that is going to be the pin that, if we go back to the circuit diagram, that is the pin that is connected to the ESP32 and is what is called the interrupt pin. You don't need to worry about that. nowRail takes care of that. But if you like, that is the pin on your board that you are going to connect to. So make sure that you have set that value correctly. Now the other line that is uncommented is the 1-bit time, and it has a value of 130. This is to do with the timing of your DCC signal from your base station. Now this value 130 works with all the major brands of DCC base station that I've come across. We've tested it on numerous systems, never had a problem. If you've got some real weird and wacky system that I've just not come across, and you're having problems with the DCC signals coming through, first check your wiring. Your wiring is much more likely to be a problem than this value, but you can tweak this value slightly. If you go below sort of a value of 120 or above a value of 140, I can almost guarantee that your wiring is a problem rather than this value. So on the whole, leave it alone, just uncomment the line, and that's it. So what I've now done is uploaded the code, and as you can see in the serial monitor, you can see the master clock going along nicely. Now what I'm going to do is select that accessory, press the 1, and as you can see, immediately you will see the command being received. At that point, that command is now within the nowRail system, and nowRail will treat that command just as if it had come from any other nowRail control panel. So at that point, it now means that your DCC controller, whatever the make of controller is, can now be sending your commands into the nowRail system, just as if it was a nowRail control panel. And it just means that you could build yourself a nice control panel with a mimic panel, but still have the ability to wander around the layout and use your controller to update things as you wander around, and still see those updates on your mimic panel. So a useful combination rather than it sort of being one or the other. It's quite nice to have a system where one system can also complement and add features to the other. So that's it for today's video. A very, very short video because, to be honest, it's a very simple system to use. So if you've got a DCC controller and you want to send your accessory commands via nowRail, it's as simple as building a very small circuit for a few pounds and just uploading some code to an ESP32 and you're away. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.